like Mike said, my name is Steve Schultz, and I've got the pleasure to share some information with you guys here tonight. Some information that, if you apply, can literally change your life. And I know that's a really big, bold statement to make, but it can change your life not only on the health side, but also on the wealth side. Guys, I've been in this profession now for 34 years, and we've had a lot of success in building teams of people, but it is nothing compared to the success that we're having here with the Super Patch Company and the product that we're going to introduce you here to tonight. And what we're going to introduce you to is a new technology. Okay, it's a new technology called the Super Patch. And exactly what I said to Michael when I called Michael a couple of years ago, I said, Michael, what I'm going to share with you is going to sound absolutely crazy. It's going to sound a little bit strange, and it might sound a little bit silly. And the reason I tell everybody that up front is because that is exactly how I felt when I was introduced to these patches a little more than 2 years ago by the gentleman who invented this technology, Mr. Jay Dollywall. And you can see the patch on your screen right now. It's a small little patch, but the uniqueness of this patch is that there's nothing on it. There are no drugs, no stimulants, no supplements, no vitamins, no chemicals. There are no ingredients whatsoever. The only thing that's on this patch is a pattern. And this pattern has ridges on it. And when that pattern comes in contact with your skin, the receptors in your skin can read that pattern, and it sends a message back to your brain to fix things. And we've got a patch that will help people with balance, stability, and range of motion. We have another patch to help people deal with pain. We have another patch to help people sleep. We've got one to help people focus. We've got one to help people deal with stress. We've got one for overall athletic performance. We've got one to help you burn more calories at rest. Okay, now I've got your attention, right? We've got one for blood flow. We've got one for your complexion. We've got one to put more passion back into the bedroom. How about the little blue pill in a patch? Now, doesn't that sound crazy? I mean, everything that I'm talking about sounds unbelievable. Because basically what I'm telling you is all you have to do is put this little patch on your arm that has absolutely nothing on it, and your pain's going to go away, or you're going to sleep better, or you're going to burn more calories. And you guys, that is exactly what I'm telling you. And I guess the best way to kind of explain how these patches work is to show you how these patches work. I want you to meet Brandy. Okay, Brandy is a young lady who was introduced to the Super Patch Company a couple of years ago. She came to a live meeting down in Alabama, and she was invited to this meeting, and she had no idea why she was there. She had no idea who the Super Patch Company was or anything like that. And we were going through some of the same stuff we're talking about right now. And after the meeting, she came up to us and said, hey, I have a really hard time walking up and down a flight of stairs. Do you have something that will help me? And we kind of smiled and we said, yeah, we've got something that can help you. And I want you guys to watch Brandy walking up and down a flight of stairs with and without wearing the Super Patch technology. This video is 1 minute in length. Here we go.
How many years have you had an issue going up and down the stairs?
Since I was 33, I'm 46, so you can do the math, I can't.
13 years.
Thank you.
Go ahead, please be careful. Okay, I'm gonna put the Liberty patch on her right now. And she's gonna do all of that again.
And by the way, just walking up and down this many times, usually I'm in a lot of pain too, and that's not as bad.
This is her third time doing it. There you go.
It's amazing. Utterly amazing.
Now, Brandy said, it's amazing. It's utterly amazing. Now, guys, she walked up and down the stairs twice before we decided to videotape her because she could not believe what she was feeling. And that feeling is real. And I don't know if you guys can relate to Brandy walking down the stairs without wearing the Super Patch, where she kind of stumbled, okay? Because I think we've all been there. But as soon as she put that patch on, Her stability was there. She was in perfect alignment, and she could handle those stairs no problem whatsoever. Now, the question is, how? How does this possibly work? Because that was my biggest question. And I was dealing with the guy who invented the technology. Okay, he's the guy who called me and said, Steve, I want to tell you a little bit about my company, and I want to know if you'd be interested in helping me build it. And I said, Jay, what do you do? And he tried to explain how these patches work to me on the phone. And I'm like, Jay, I don't get it. So he invited me to come to Toronto, and he did this balance demonstration with me. And I said, Jay, how does it work? And he gave me this long scientific explanation. I said, Jay, I'm not a neuroscientist. I don't talk like that. I would never use terms like that. How am I supposed to explain this to my friends? And he said, here's how you explain it. And you guys, this is what got me. He said, Steve, close your eyes and hold out your hand. So I did. And he put a pen in my hand. And he said, Steve, what's in your hand right now? I said, Jay, it's a pen. He goes, how do you know? He goes, your eyes are closed. How do you know? I said, Jay, because I know what a pen feels like. He said, exactly. He said, your skin is sending a message to your brain that says this is a pen. He said, I could have put anything in your hand and you would have known what it was without looking at it. He said, I've just figured out a way to create a pattern that when it touches your skin, the receptors in your skin can read that pattern like a QR code and sends a message to a certain part of your brain to fix things. And I looked at Jay and I said, so Jay, what you're telling me then is that you have a drug-free, chemical-free solution for pain and for sleep and for focus and for stress and for weight loss and all these other things? And he goes, yes. I said, I'm in. I said, Jay, I'm in. I said, I've been doing this for 32 years. I've been the president of health and wellness companies, and I've never seen anything like this, and you have zero competition. I said, Jay, there's nobody in the world doing what you're doing. I said, yeah, there's patch companies out there, but they're loaded with chemicals and stimulants and supplements that slow release into your skin. I said, Jay, there's nobody doing what you're doing. I said, you've got something here that can change the world. And he smiled at me and he said, that's why I called you. And you guys, from that day on, I can't stop talking about this. Now, the explanation with the pen in the hand, I use it all the time. But there's another way that we can explain the technology that's more duplicable, okay? And I want you guys to watch this short little video. It's only 3.5 minutes long, but it explains the science behind this technology. So just put everything down, watch the screen for 3.5 minutes, and we're coming right back. Here we go.
On average, it covers about 21 square feet. Bigger than a typical door frame. It comprises 15% of your body weight. I'm talking about the biggest organ in the human body, your skin. And now, the Super Patch Company is unlocking the superpowers of human skin. Your skin protects you from invaders like germs, helps you regulate your body temperature, and allows you to feel tactile sensations like hot, cold, rough, and soft. Imagine you have a tiny team of workers inside your body. When your skin experiences something hot or cold, or something touches your skin, these workers send messages to your brain, telling you what's happening. They're called ion channels, and these sensors are the key to a new cutting-edge technology utilized by the Super Patch Company. This elegant and effective technology has gone through clinical studies, and the amazing results have been published in peer-reviewed science journals. And their benefits are game-changing. For example, let's talk about pain. The Freedom Super Patch focuses on pain management. Users of the patch reported a 72% reduction in pain within minutes, and the relief lasts for 24 hours. Here's how this amazing technology works. Each super patch contains very fine ridges that stimulate receptors in your skin. Think of them as braille for the brain. And the unique patterns of these ridges help reboot a specific neural program. When these ridges touch the skin, the stimulation starts instantly correcting those neural programs, essentially rewiring your brain. We're talking about life-changing benefits. Studies have shown that people who wear the REM super patch for 2 weeks fall asleep 48% faster and get almost 25% more sleep at night. Studies on the Liberty super patch reveal that it can improve balance and stability by more than 30%. This is all done without drugs, electronic stimulation, or therapies. Most importantly, the patches are safe and easy to use. 100% drug and chemical free. No ingredients or supplements, and there are no contraindications or side effects.
Pretty simple explanation. You guys, if I took your hand and I held it over the stove and I turned the heat on, you would know that that's hot without touching the stove. That's how the super patches work. Now, if you look in the video, they talked about sleep, pain, and balance. But we can help people with a whole variety of different things. We have 12 different super patches. Each patch has a different pattern on it. So I always say, if you're a hot mess, you can wear all 12 patches at the same time. Michael, I know you've got about 6 of them on right now. I know you do, brother. I know you do, because I have 6 on. All right, so I'm half a hot mess. Okay. You can wear all 12 patches at the same time, because each patch does have a different pattern. It sends a different signal to a different part of your brain. They don't short circuit one another or anything like that. The patches are water resistant, which means you can swim with them, you can shower with them, you can exercise with them. All we're going to ask you to do is switch them out every 24 hours because the glue starts to wear off a little bit, the pattern starts to wear down a little bit, and they become a little bit less effective. Now, the patches are made by 3M, so there's a medical grade adhesive. There's no latex in our patches. The patches are they're all made in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and we are registered with the FDA. Now, we're registered. We're never going to be approved by the FDA because we're not a drug, okay? We are a level 1 medical device, and so we'll always be registered with the FDA. Now, what I want to do, Michael, let's see if we can get some stories from some people. I'm going to unshare my screen here a little bit, and Michael, I'm going to ask you to help me out here.
So, I had a little accident a couple weeks ago. That's why I've kind of been missing in action. I actually broke my shoulder right here. And so I fell and I tried to catch myself with my right arm and I cracked the shoulder here. So I was able to drive myself to the emergency room, from Costco to the emergency room. And I was in tremendous, immediately, the pain was just unbelievable immediately. So I knew I did something. So I had pain patches in the car, but I'm like, I can't put one on before I go to the emergency room because I won't be able to tell them if it hurts or not. And so I went in there, they x-rayed it and they did it and it worked. The minute I got back out to the car, I put the pain patch on and not even 5 minutes later, I didn't even get out of the parking lot and the pain was gone. And thank God for the REM patch too, because this is the side I sleep on. And this shoulder was hurt in a different accident 11 years ago. And I have a problem sleeping on my back. So I'm not sleeping as well as I normally do with the REM patch, but it's helping tremendously get me some quality sleep while I'm in healing mode. I've got Victreon for to help my muscles repair in this shoulder too, because hopefully I didn't tear a muscle yet. I don't know about that yet. So, but I'm not in pain.
Michael,
Love
you
it.
hear what she said? She goes, I didn't want to put the pain patch on before I went to the emergency room because I wouldn't be able to tell them if it hurt or not.
I know how well they work.
You guys, I think that's the end of the presentation right there. Thanks for coming, everybody.
Good night.
That is crazy.
So I ruined your presentation, Steve.
Oh, no, that's the best. That's one of the best testimonials I've ever heard in my life. That is so good, Roxanne. I'm glad you're feeling better. It looks like you're feeling better.
Yeah, that
Yep.
is spectacular. Too
Michael, do we have anybody else that wants to share a story?
Okay, I'm new to Super Patch. I've only been using it for just over a month. And I have a lot of problems. I was going to have surgery on my knee. I was going to have it replaced. I also do not have a rotor cuff on my left shoulder, so that's pain all the time. I also have 2 bone marrow diseases. So I use Defend and Freedom and Liberty and Victory. And I started wearing those just right away as soon as I got my first shipment. And I go to Sunday school every Sunday, and they always know I either come in with a walker or a cane, and I'm just barely making it. Within 3 weeks, I'm coming in without a cane, and they're looking at me and they're saying, "Did you forget your cane?" I said, "No, I don't need my cane now." "Well, why?" I said, I lifted up my dress just a little bit and said, "Right there on my knee, right there. That's why I don't." And they're all looking at me. I'm hoping that these women are going to buy from me. They say they are, but they haven't so far. And like I said, I'm new, so I can't do the demonstration at Sunday school. But at any rate, they are all just in awe. The next week I came in and I said, "I just want you to see this. I can walk across the room. I am having no pain at all." And this week a lady said, "I'm in a walker." And I said, "Well, are you in a lot of pain?" And she says, "No, I have balance problems." So I gave her a few Victory and said, "Try this and then let me know on Sunday how it worked." So I'm trying hard. I'm trying real hard. And everybody I see, I tell them, the teller at the bank, I had surgery on my eye today, and I talked to the lady that registered me in, and they all took all my information. So now I'm just waiting. So
You're doing great. You know, early on, Steve told me your own compelling story is going to be the most influencing you can do. So you're off to a great start. Keep it up. Awesome.
thank you.
I saw some other hands. Who were those before? Oh, there he is. Tim Jones.
Yes, can you hear me? I'm unmuted.
Man, perfect.
Okay, good deal. Yeah, I called a friend of mine. Excuse me. He walks with a cane with one of those with the 4 feet on it, that kind of spread apart, because his balance is really bad. He has neuropathy, and balance is just real bad. So I called him. I told him I was going to be coming by in about 15 minutes and to be expecting me. So I rang his doorbell, and I waited. I rang the doorbell again. I'm like, "Oh, is he stiffing me or what?" You know, so I'm looking around. Well, he answers the door finally. And so he said, "Yeah, come on in my room." So we go in his room, and I tell him a little bit about the patches. And after we converse a little, I put the Liberty patch on him. And I told him, I said, I thought you weren't going to answer the door. And he goes, "Well, I have a really hard time. I got to lean against the wall and stuff to get there." It wasn't that far, but so I put the patch on him, and he stands up and he's like, "Wow, that feels pretty good." He walks right out to the kitchen where his wife is and say, "Hey, honey, look, I can walk a lot better." She's like, "What's up with you?" And he said, "I have this patch on." So it was just really every time you see it, it still startles and amazes you. But he's signed up as an associate. probably never do the business, but he's signed up for 2 patches a month to the Liberty and the Freedom, because he does have pain and the neuropathy, which helped him. Another quick one, I was doing a lead inspection in Las Cruces, New Mexico, about 40 miles from El Paso. And the gentleman was kind of a younger guy, 40-ish, and it was kind of shuffling around. And when I finished, I asked him, do you have neuropathy? And he said, well, yeah, I do. And I said, you want to try something? And so I gave him 2 of them, the Freedom and the Liberty. And I asked him how that felt. He says, it feels really good. He said, but I'll try it out today because I have to go into the VA and I'll be walking and standing a lot. So I called him back a couple days later and I said, how did that go? He's like, it's fantastic. I had no neuropathy in my feet. I'm just trying to figure out how I can fit this in my budget because I want to get that. So
Awesome. Beautiful, Tim. What a great job. Nicely done.
thank you.
Good stuff.
Rome, New York is in the house. David McGonigal.
Nice seeing you guys. Well, I have a little story, so bear with me. My wife and I are fighting breast cancer, and I say me because we're both into it. Complications over the past month or so, but we're fighting it. And on a daily basis, my wife wears the Liberty and the Defend. So last Monday, we had to go to her doctor's for the checkup because she had complications with a drug that screwed up her lungs and she's having a hard time breathing, exhaustion, the fatigue is killing her. But when we got to the doctor's, she had the nurse practitioner, her doctor, went to listen to her heart. And when she took off her shawl or whatever, the Liberty was peeling off, and she said your nicotine patch is coming off or something like that. I don't recall what she said, but I said, she goes, well, what is that? I said, well, that's a new technology. What do you mean new technology? It's a wearable technology, and I like to show you at the end after you're all done. So make a long story short, after the whole checkup and everything, I said, okay, you got a couple minutes? She goes, yeah. So I go, all right, I'm going to do a demo with you. And I didn't go into details with it. And she goes, oh, is this something like the magnets? I said, maybe. She goes, well, you're going to try to tip me over? I said, yeah. So I go, but it's not like the magnets. So I did it. And she's just like, I did the front, I did this, the side, and her eyes just like opened up. I go, that's neat, isn't it? I go, this is wicked technology, isn't it? She goes, well, if this really works, my niece and my daughter will love it because they could use it. So I was excited. My wife was excited, but I was more excited because I was like, I got a doctor, it's like they push pills, they push all this other stuff. And I said, well, this is no drugs, it's neurotechnology and the whole bit. So she says, well, I'm going on vacation for 2 weeks. So I have another week, but I did send her an email for a follow-up, and I know she'll get it when she comes back to the office. And I think we're going to see her in 2 more weeks, I believe, or whatever. But in the meantime, I'm ecstatic. My wife is, and I'm just blown away because I have a doctor's. It was really exciting.
That's amazing. Spectacular. Thank you, David, for sharing. I appreciate that. I'm going to throw this back to you, Steve. As I do, I want to thank you for calling me 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And the reason I say this is because everybody on the screen listening to you tonight all have people that they're thinking about calling. And then we get our head trash in the way. What are they going to think? All this stuff. So thank you for not allowing your head trash to stop you from calling me, because we are touching people's lives. And I got friends who are out of pain and sleeping better, and I'm on that list. And it's just been such a fun ride. So thank you.
You got it, buddy. You got it. Hey, David, I'll tell you this, brother. My daughter's a nurse, and she talks about these patches all day long with her patients. My son-in-law is a cardiothoracic surgeon. Okay. And he said to me, after he tried the patches for the very first time, he came out of the OR and he said, Steve, I will never walk into that OR without wearing these patches again. He said, I've never, ever been more focused in the ER after wearing these patches, and his whole team wears them now. So we live in a world, you guys, where people that we trust are telling us you need to take this drug, this drug, this drug, this drug, this drug, but you're also going to have to take this drug to offset the effects of this drug. And most people go, okay. And they just fill up their counters with prescription drugs without even thinking about the side effects. Well, there are people in the medical field, David, who get it. My daughter gets it. My son-in-law gets it. My chiropractor gets it. They just get it. And all we have to do is prove to them how this technology works. And a couple people talked about a demonstration. It's a balance demonstration that we do. We didn't show it to you tonight, but that actually proves how the technology works. And what I want to do, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to share my screen with you one more time. I'm just going to keep you for just a few more minutes here. But those of us who are already in the business, guys, we have a really difficult time not sharing this with literally every single person that we come in contact with, because it works instantly. It works instantly. And we all know people who can benefit from this technology. And those of you who are guests here tonight, or maybe watching this on the replay, the problem that you have right now is that you know about this. And you're going to have a really hard time not telling somebody about it, right? If you want to get involved in sharing this technology with other people and getting paid for it, well, we're going to encourage you to enroll as an associate, okay? Because the company will pay you to go out there and spread the news. Well, before you decide to do that, I want you to just ask yourself a couple of questions. Ask yourself, do I know, let's just say 3 people who need this technology? Chances are, yeah, you probably know 3 people. And do I know 3 people who might want to make money sharing this technology? And the wheels are spinning right now. You're like, yeah, I know a heck of a lot more than 3, right? Because we live in the gig economy today. Well, if the answer to that is yes, and if you can understand the power of duplication, you're not going to sleep a lot tonight. Because think about getting a few people started, who get a few people started, who get a few people started, who get a few people started. And once you get it started, there's no way you can stop it. Because none of these people work for you. They're all independents, just like we all are, right? But what they're doing is they're excited about providing a solution, a drug-free, chemical-free solution to one of their friends who has an issue. And the company's going to pay you. And to get involved in that part of our company and to become an associate, guys, it's $50. I'm not kidding. It's only $50, okay? That gets you in the system, gets you your website, gets you everything you need to get started. Plus, we're going to give you $75 worth of our patches. We're going to give you a 28-pack of the Liberty patches. That's the one that Brandy demonstrated walking up and down the stairs. And we're going to give you a 4-pack of the Freedom patch. I think everybody here tonight talked about the pain patch, and that's the Freedom patch. So $50, not only can you start your business, but you're also going to get $75 worth of our patches. Now, when you enroll as an associate, you also get to buy the patches at a really deep discounted price. We have different launch kits that you can purchase, and I'm only going to talk about one of them tonight. There are other options, but this by far is the best value. It's the Omni kit. It's $999. It's worth $1,500. You get $1,500 worth of our patches for $1,000. You get multiple packs of every patch that we have, okay? If you buy the other kits, you don't get every patch. And I promise you this, you're going to be like, well, what does that Joy patch feel like? Or what does that Kick It patch feel like? Or what does that Focus patch feel? And you're going to buy these patches a la carte, and you're going to end up spending a lot more money because you got to pay for shipping and all that kind of stuff, all right? So guys, listen, this is $1 billion company in the making. We're projected to do $1 billion in sales in 2028, less than 4 years away, right? And you can be a part of it for $1,000, for $1,000. Okay, so I'm not going to get into the compensation plan too much with you here tonight. I'm gonna leave that for the person who invited you, and they'll explain how the compensation plan works. But I will tell you this: when you truly understand how we get paid in this business, you're going to lose a lot of sleep. You're going to lose a lot of sleep. I've been in this profession, like I said, for 34 years, made millions and millions of dollars in 34 years. This is growing faster than anything that I've ever done in the past. And the compensation plan is better than anything that I've ever had to work with in the past. And guys, one of the reasons the company is growing at the rate that it's growing, the patches that you see here today in this form were launched on January 14th of 2023, okay? In 2023, the company did about $60 million in revenue. In 2024, we're on pace to do over $130 million in revenue. And I think the reason we're growing so fast is because nobody has to like the taste of the product, nobody has to mix anything up, and nobody has to swallow anything. And the results are instant. It's like putting on a Band-Aid. You put a patch on, you start feeling a certain way, you take the patch off, the feeling goes away with zero side effects, okay? The company has a program where they will help you. In fact, we are attracting some really big people to our company. And if you look at the screen right now, everybody probably knows the guy on the left. Everybody kind of knows Michael Strahan, right? The guy on the right is Jay Glazer. Okay, now Jay Glazer is now promoting the Super Patches. Jay Glazer is an NFL insider. And if you know the NFL, you guys know Jay Glazer. Okay, he is on Fox NFL pregame shows, halftime shows, post-game shows, every single week, okay? Here's Jay, obviously doing the NFL, I don't know if it's a pregame show, it looks like. Here's Jay at the Super Bowl a couple of years ago, and obviously he's interviewing George Kittle, who's on the left, who's a tight end. He played at Iowa, and he's playing for the San Francisco 49ers. And the gentleman on the right, you might not recognize him unless you knew who his girlfriend was, right? That is Travis Kelce, who is dating Taylor Swift, okay? Travis Kelce of the Kansas City Chiefs. And Jay Glazer is now part of the Super Patch Company. I told a friend of mine earlier today about Jay, and I said, listen, I don't know what you're waiting for because everybody's joining this company. Everybody's joining. And I'm not going to twist your arm. I'm not going to talk you into it. Our job is to give you information. And what you do with that information is totally up to you. But guys, we're having a blast. And frankly, this is as hard as we ever work. and Mike, and actually, Mike, I'm getting a little bit tired. So let's wrap this thing up. Okay?
Let's wrap that up. Thank you for doing this. Thank you. Have a great night, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for jumping on. Get together with the person who invited you and get all your questions answered. And hey, let Michael and I be the first to welcome you to the Super Patch Company. Thanks, everybody.